Hello friends, and not yet friends, welcome back to What I Ate Wednesday here on Mary's Test Kitchen, where today I'm gonna try to recreate a couple of unforgettable vegan meals I had while visiting Vancouver, while trying to keep things realistic and not too much work. Although some of you are gonna fight me on my definition of not too much work, but anyways. If you like this kind of thing, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. As per usual, the day started with heating up water for coffee. Yes, I finally got a new kettle after the last one died on me, quite a while ago. This iKitchen kettle was sent to me to try. Not sponsored, but gifted so I could share my honest first impression. I have been using it for the last 2 months, and, well, I like it. 1, because it's pretty and matches all my stainless steel and black appliances, and 2, because I feel a bit better about it being glass, no plastic touching my water as it heats, as some of you have nagged me about. Thank you, mums. It's convenient and easy to use. The only thing is it's quite a bit louder than the plastic ones I had in the past. Maybe plastic insulates sound better, I don't know. But it's a pretty affordable kettle, so I've left the Amazon affiliate link in the description if you want to check it out, if you want to. And so you know, if you buy anything through that link, I will get a small commission, which helps the channel a bit, so thank you if you do. Usually I have my instant mushroom coffee, but today I'm out, so alas, regular instant espresso it is. Wah wah. And a pinch of pumpkin spice mix. I thought I was over pumpkin spice, but apparently I'm not. If you are also not over pumpkin spice, might I suggest checking out my caramel pumpkin spice donuts, which will take a whole afternoon to make, or my vegan cream cheese pumpkin muffins, which only take a half hour-ish. This morning, though, I have no time and I want things instant, hence my DIY instant oatmeal. I had a huge bag of rolled oats I really should use up, so I just blitzed them in a magic bullet for a few seconds to make these smaller flakes so they'll cook with just hot water instead of having to make oatmeal on the stove or microwave. The oatmeal sits for 5 minutes while I get some caffeine in. Not a pretty YouTuber breakfast, but hey, this is not that kind of channel now, is it? Some natural smooth peanut butter and maple syrup make this complete. And I love this combo so much. It's really satisfying and delicious. In the summer, I couldn't stand the thought of oatmeal, but lately I've been dreaming about this before I even get out of bed in the morning. Plus, I think the extra peanut butter keeps me full longer. It's basically instant without the extra packaging and sugar that comes with buying instant oatmeal at the store. If I could figure out how to make all my meals this easy, I would. But I can't, and that explains lunch. Here's the thing we're trying to recreate. Virtuous Pie's Stranger Wings pizza. White pizza sauce, spicy buffalo cauliflower, crisp fried shallots, blue cheese drizzle with stringy scallion on top. All vegan, of course. Ugh, that place makes me want to move back to Vancouver, but then I remember the rain. Anyways, the water in here is still warm, not from my first cup, I'm on coffee number 2, but it happens to be the perfect temperature, on the hotter side of warm but not too hot. I'm trying to make just a single serving of pizza dough. Spoiler alert, things don't always go as planned. This is how I normally cook. I eyeball, I estimate, I undershoot or overshoot, but things always work out in the end. Mostly. I'm pretty sure most people actually cook this way. Are you one of those people? I'm mixing with my hands so I can really feel the hydration level, and we're gonna need way more flour. I just add some and mix it in, and add some more and mix it in, and add some more until I feel like the dough is getting to the right consistency. Still sticky, but after it sits a while, it's gonna be all right. Then we make it into a ball, sort of. And cover this up. You could rest this dough for anywhere between a half an hour and a whole day, though any more than 1 hour and I would put it in the fridge so it doesn't overproof. Plenty of time to prep other ingredients, like the wings. My personal sized pizza won't need this much cauliflower, but I prep the whole thing anyways. Otherwise, it's gonna sit in the fridge and probably go bad because I'll be too lazy or, low on the hand budget later to use it up. You know how it is. This way, I'll have chopped cauliflower for stir fries or eating raw with dip or, wow, I'm turning into my parents. It's a bit of a mind doozy to realize. Hey, let me know in the comments how you are also turning into your parents. Moving on, I want to lightly roast this portion first in my new OMORC XL AIR FRYER. Holy moly guys, I love this thing. It holds a lot more than a typical air fryer, but the footprint isn't much bigger, just the basket inside. This one was also gifted to me, although I was super skeptical at first. You know my relationship with air fryers has been tainted by past trauma. But this one is way sturdier and higher quality than the one before. It comes with this non-stick cake pan and a rack so you can have more than one layer. You could roast the cauliflower just directly in the non-stick basket, but the pan will be easier for me. There are different presets you could use, but I just use the quick start all the time, and then adjust the temperature and the time. 6 minutes should be perfect. Meanwhile, there's time enough to slice up some scallions, lengthwise, for pretty thin shreds. Now the cauliflower is nicely roasted and ready for sauce. First, sweet and smoky barbecue sauce. I just used a store-bought one, but my homemade date barbecue sauce would have been even better. But I'm trying not to get carried away. This is just lunch for one after all. Then for the spice, some Frank's buffalo sauce, which happens to be vegan friendly, FYI, thanks to those in the comments who told me so. A little onion and garlic powder. And our wings are done for now. Let's get the bacon pan back here. Add some olive oil for a nice crispy fried effect and the delicious flavor of olive oil. I've been appreciating it more and more this year. And now that the dough has more than doubled in size, I can just use half. The other half goes in the fridge, and I can have pizza again tomorrow. Gosh, I love life. So just squish and stretch and a squish and a stretch until that dough reaches the edges. Instead of making a white pizza sauce from scratch, let's just go in with veggies. A little garlic and onion powder. And dried Italian seasoning. Good enough, I promise. Then our saucy wings. Then that goes into the air fryer again. I'm just guessing on the time and temp because I haven't actually made pizza in the air fryer yet. I usually use it for roasting veggies, heating up frozen Gardein stuff, and making the crispiest, tastiest tater tots you have ever had. Way faster than my old air fryer, without bits of non-stick flaking off. Okay, that is the last time I'm gonna shade the previous air fryer from the brand, which will not be mentioned. Time to make our last topping, the vegan blue cheese drizzle. Okay, it's very half-assed, but at the same time, it's really delicious. Perfect. Time's up on the air fryer, and this looks so good. I added sliced shallots that I already had in the fridge, but I didn't bother crisping them up. Plus scallions. And the drizzle. Okay, original versus mine. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. The cauliflower wings were nicely done, and the freshness from the scallions and shallots contrasted wonderfully with the sweet smoky sauce, and then with extra flavor and richness from the drizzle. Like, this was perfect. I think it tasted just like the original. I would have liked the crust to have a wee bit more crispness to contrast the fluffy chewiness, but that's a lesson for next time. Next time I'll turn the heat up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and cook a little longer, but overall, I'm happy with this. All that dough was a lot for lunch, and I didn't eat it all. I even saved a piece for my boyfriend. But it didn't have a lot of protein in that meal, and I changed my mind in the early afternoon. Too bad, boyfriend. Shh, we won't tell him what he missed. Did I tell you I love this air fryer? Well, so far anyways. I've only had it 2 months, remember, so things could change, but I'm way more confident about this one. It comes with a 2-year warranty, better than most machines, so if you want to check it out, I've included the affiliate link in the description, and you can read the things I haven't talked about and poke around in the reviews. For dinner, I had to use this Chinese eggplant. I already cut away half of it, which was going bad before I remembered to turn on the camera, and, well, you wouldn't have wanted to see that part anyways, trust me. Ugh. This water with salt is to prevent the cut eggplant from browning. Do you have to do this? Not really. Actually, this dish didn't really turn out as planned, so don't take it as a tutorial or anything. I'm just sharing what happened when I tried to recreate this black garlic eggplant and tofu rice bowl from Chay in Vancouver. I was amazed at how bright the eggplant remained while still being perfectly buttery soft on the inside. It was so delicious. I think they must have deep or shallow fried it quickly before adding it to the sauce. High heat and speed are usually the things when it comes to pretty eggplant that's actually delicious. But I wasn't about to deep fry on a weeknight. By this time, my hand budget was pretty low. Actually, my tendonitis was already telling me to stop cooking and order in instead, but I had been meaning to shoot this video for a while, so against my better judgment, I just went on. With the eggplant cut, I put this dish on top to keep the pieces submerged. Next, the black garlic and fermented black beans. A few years ago, my parents became obsessed with making their own black garlic. They wrap whole garlic cloves and keep them warm in a rice cooker or something like it for several weeks until the garlic turns black and soft. It's kind of jellyish and tastes kind of like caramelized garlic, but at the same time, it's totally different. I know. Best description ever. I made them a couple of times too, but it made the condo smell so much. I didn't continue. But after buying this container for $14, I feel like maybe I'll try making it again because, like, I'm too cheap for that life. This one is interesting though, like 1 single clove in a head of garlic. Like, how do they do that? I wanna try growing those too. Anyways, fermented black beans might be a new thing for you if you have not tried making my mapo tofu. AKA Daosi, they are fermented black soybeans. The flavor is pretty strong, kind of like miso. It's pungent, salty, and a little goes a long way to make dishes like black bean beef. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out online. Sometimes when you get them, they're hard and dry and you have to soak them, but these ones are pretty soft and I'll chop them up a bit. If you have garlic black bean sauce, you could use some of that instead of using the black bean themselves. Next, we'll need to grate garlic and ginger. And of course, chop scallions. For tofu, I'm using this Fresh Tofu by DSI, a local tofu maker here in Calgary. Fresh tofu is best, and it's freshest when you buy local. I mean, if you're not making yourself. And when tofu is this good, you can seriously just eat it straight. Last thing on the cutting board, some yu choy. And next, we'll do the sauce stuff. I'm making up some strong veggie broth with tapioca starch as a thickener. You can also use cornstarch interchangeably. Actually, I ran out of cornstarch and that's why I switched to tapioca. That reminds me, I should put on my list. Separately, I'm measuring out a tablespoon of light soy sauce, a couple teaspoons of sugar, and a couple teaspoons of rice vinegar. Salt, sweet, and acid. Alright, we're ready to cook. A few of you asked me how to cook rice on the stove, so here we go. First, measure out your rice, and then we're going to wash it. When the water runs clear, or as close to clear as your patience will allow, drain well. Then we can add the final amount of water. The way I measure is to stick my finger in the bottom of the pot and use my thumb to measure the depth of the rice. Then, not moving my index finger and thumb, I touch the top of the rice with my index finger and the thumb should just graze the top of the water. Does that make sense? I hope so, because measuring with cups never works as perfectly as this method. For me anyways, and countless other Asian families. Then cover and turn the heat to high. In about 5 minutes, the water will start to bubble ever so slightly. Immediately, I turn the heat down to low. Since we're on an electric stovetop, the water will continue to boil a little stronger for a minute before settling down to a low simmer. And then the rice will be done in about 10 to 15 minutes. Now for the black garlic eggplant. Remember, this ain't a tutorial. This is me, just trying to recreate this dish for the first time whilst trying to avoid deep frying. I had a plan, but my hands were aching, so I got a little lazier than my already lazy plan. Usually for a stir fry, you want to cook some components separately since they take different times to cook and you don't want to overcook this or that or overcrowd the wok or your pan. But instead of taking this tofu out, I just pushed it to the side. And this is when I started regretting my decision not to deep fry this eggplant. It's been a while since I cooked eggplant and it all came back to me in that instant. There was no way I was going to get it buttery soft and keep it looking pretty. Too late to turn back now. I added oil to fry the aromatics. Then this soy sauce mixture. Then the yu choy. And the broth and starch mixture. Some of this eggplant is still purple and pretty, so I just scooped them up for the picture. And then I added some more broth to thin out the sauce, and that was about done. At least, the rice was fluffy perfection. And you can't fail with this locally made tofu. Looking saucy and lovely. Ignore how ugly the eggplant turned. I carefully placed some prettier eggplant pieces for the Instagrams, what else? And you gotta have some fresh chopped scallion and cilantro on top. So, original versus my homemade. This wasn't as successful as lunch, but how did it taste? That's what's important, right? Sauce on rice? Delicious. Greens? So good. Ugly eggplant? Tender and soaked through with sauce. Tofu, do you have to ask? I could eat this stuff forever. The restaurant sauce is saltier and sweeter, but I feel good about my version for an everyday type of thing. And the pretty purple eggplant piece? Rubber. Oh, it was that bad. I should have known. Eggplant has to be cooked fast and at high heat to keep its color, which is why deep frying works well, not to mention those supercharged restaurant woks. But I feel like this bowl was decent for a weeknight dinner at home, but if I was trying to impress, I would make my restaurant-style deep-fried eggplant in spicy garlic sauce, maybe mix in some black garlic for an extra dimension of flavor, and most definitely toss in this DSI fried tofu. And that was my food day, trying to recreate a couple of dishes from my travels. Tell me about the dishes you've recreated from restaurants in the comments below. Your greatest successes, your biggest fails. I'd love to read about them. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more vegan fun food. It really helps this channel out. P.S. For my fellow cat lovers, I've posted a few new Catterday videos recently, including one where Riles, who just turned 16 last week by the way, begs to be walked outside. His meows are just too precious. You'll love it. Go watch. Anyways, thanks again. Bye for now.